Alright, what is up, y'all? We are here today for a brand new league we have joined. It is an upload required Pokemon Showdown based draft league. And there's some familiar faces in there. You know, our buddy Pat joined in because he's gotta join in on the fun as well. You got our boy Dai in there, of course. You got the trio. Kip Up is up in this bitch too. He's Kip Up in this bitch. So that'll be cool. And it is actually it's a Vader's league, so. We got some good handful of the PCP guys in there representing, but basically it's a pretty standard league. A lot of stuff, a lot of busted shit's banned. It allows Mega Kang with no seismic toss, and I think that was really the only thing, the only noteworthy thing. I think no Lele, no Magearna, obviously. So basically we got randomized draft picks. Randomized draft orders, sorry, and I got randomized the second pick, which is just fucking awesome. Oh, hold on, we almost forgot our little. Let's just boop. But yeah, so our first pick, the second overall pick, the first guy took Kyron Black. I was looking at basically all the 19-point shit. So you got stuff, Kyron Black, Mega Latios, Mega Kang. Celesteela was another one of the options in there, and yeah, Celesteela, man, I've never used Celesteela before, but I'm definitely excited to. If you look at the stats there, basically what I did for all the Pokemon was just max out two of their more prominent stats, basically. So you can see right there, Celesteela just has it's just a thick metal boy or girl, It's 2018, we're being gender neutral now. It's fucking there, man. You already know what it does. If you've played the draft league format, I'm sure you've had to fucking have a pain in the ass time building for this thing, because Celesteela only has two weaknesses, same thing as Skarmory. So it's only weak to fire, and it is only weak to electric, which is unfortunate because it is so fucking bulky that you need to hit it with as much super effective coverage as you can. Sorry, drink break. But I love Celesteela, man. I've never got to use it, but it's always such a pain in the dick to team build versus that I figured it can't be that bad, It hits. It's got good stabs. You can do acrobatics or fly or something like that on the physical side. You get your air slash on the special side. Flash cannons, flamethrowers, fire blasts. God forbid you want to miss. Heavy slam is obviously just really good stab. From what I understand, even after you autotomize, Heavy Slam is still much stronger than stuff like Iron Head. But then also, autotomize is probably one of the more threatening sets. But then you always have to worry about, something like Subseed or even just like Leech Seed Protect or something like that. It's really easy to wear down teams when you have a Celesteela. So that's one thing we're gonna have to try to keep in mind. Seems like every league I join, I play more and more offensively. But we'll see how it goes. But solid coverage altogether. Even stuff like, even stuff like Superpower, Zen Headbutt, Seed Bomb, Brutal Swing, because that's a viable move. But yeah, it gets a lot of good coverage and a lot of good stab options, and it's really hard to switch into. And all the things that do switch into it get worn down by Leech, So this is Alex Jones, our Celesteela. If you don't get the nickname, just Google Alex Jones and just watch a couple, especially if there's like compilations. That's the best shit. He's an angry man. He's screaming that Obama's got a weather machine and UFOs and shit. So this is Alex Jones. It's a But yeah, that's pretty much it for Celesteela. Next, we got a Pokemon that I have wanted to use for a very long time, but I never really got the opportunity to. Usually with my electric types, I go for something like Jolteon, something fast, something like Raikou, although I've never actually gotten Raikou, but it's always on the fucking list, But just fast electric mons, Mega Manetric, shit like that. So this time, I was actually able to pick up Thundurus T, which greatly helps out Celesteela because, like we said, one of the two things that Celesteela is weak to is electric. So with that with Volt Absorb, yeah, sorry, I'm simple. But with the Volt Absorb ability, you're basically able to, just take electric type hits from anything that isn't Mold Breaker or Terravolt or shit like that. So hitting 101 base speed, it's a very viable Scarfer, just barely outpacing those base 100s, Mew and Victini and all that shit. So that'll be extremely helpful. Huge fucking 427, 145 base, special attack from Thundy there. And not a bad move pool either. Obviously, you get your dual dance, shit like that, with agility and nasty plot. Actually gets defog this gen, which I did not notice until just now. It's clean. But then also gets a bunch of coverage. You know, Grass Knot, Flash Cannon, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave rather. Decent on the physical side as well. 105 is not bad. You know, if we wanna slap superpower on a Blissey or some shit. And then obviously taunt, U-turn, Volt Switch, shit like that. So it's good for momentum. Good as a Scarfer or even like a Specs user. Honestly, it's just a really big threat that you have to prepare for no matter what kind of draft you have. I think you have to prepare well for this, or it's just gonna tear your ass up. Knockoff too. Ooh, support Thundy inbound. But so one thing you're gonna notice about this draft is I've never used Celesteela before, so I want to be able to use it as easily as possible. Basically, I want to make my job easier team building every week, and especially with, you know, this is a 16-person league. We know and have played, I think 3 of the people in here, so I don't know any of the rest of these guys. So we'll be learning play styles and whatnot over the course of the season. And also, Thundy's named Vegemite because Pat made a Snapchat of us eating a peanut butter and Vegemite sandwich, and that was just if you watch that episode of the Spirit Lock, we had a whole conversation about sandwiches, and that man said some outrageous shit. Did you get outrage? I had to check just in case. If it got it, I was going to click it, but yeah. So basically, we're going to try to be supporting Celesteela as best we can with our draft. And the next thing okay, check this out, right? Like, what did we say it was weak to? Electric and fire. Everything else is neutral or resistant. Electric and fire types are weak to ground. So if there was a way I could get a Pokemon that was a ground type that could come in and be able to kill the fire and electric types that threaten Celesteela, I'm fucking golden, Pony Boy. So we went ahead and we picked our boy Doug Trio, Diggy Smalls returning once again to help us out. Trap all those pesky fires, all those pesky electrics. I hit the table, my bad. But I think Doug Trio is going to be a huge addition to this team. Doug Trio is such a cool Pokemon. After I got that boost, ooh, baby girl. The buff, not the boost. But, yeah, man, Doug Trio is a solid mon. Hits that crazy good speed tier, 120. Base 100 attack is not bad. I mean, it has the same attack set as Victini, so fuck off. I know that's not the same thing, because this, obviously, we don't get feat create, but, Joyce Bended Earthquake doesn't tickle, as Austin says. But yeah, base 120 speed, base 100 attack, low as fuck everything else. A little bit of Spadef there, but with 35 base HP, you're not living much. That isn't like a super resisted hit from a weak mon or some shit. But the trio is gonna help out the team. We're gonna trap all those fucks, and hopefully it just goes as planned. Next is another Pokemon that I've always wanted to draft, but I just never really got around to it, you know? It just never really presented itself, and as far as my water types go, I usually pick a bulkier one, you know, just, you know, get that nice fire, water, grass core, you get your bulky water. But this season, or this time, I decided to go a little bit different. This Pokemon is bulky, but it's also offensive and awesome, and it rapid spins. We got the mascot boy himself, Starmie. Starmie hits another crazy good speed tier at 115, outpacing the Lotties, everything at base 115, pretty much all the Ultra Beasts that are allowed, I think. And it just hits really hard with analytic boosted Hydro Pumps, stuff like that. Base 100 special attack, again, nothing crazy, but with the analytic boost, and if you stick a Life Orb or some specs on there, and then, you know, just a strong, powerful move like Hydro Pump, and then also having the flexibility to run stuff like Psyshock to hit on the special side. Very, very hard to switch into, and it gets great coverage. T-Bolt, Grass Knot, Ice Beam, stuff like that. It's just fantastic. Let's go ahead. Obviously, there's a bunch of real deep shit we're not going to get into in here, because you know I love whipping together some dumb shit that hopefully works, but it's just, you know, Psychic types have really good coverage, so especially Water types and Psychic types usually have pretty good coverage, so the two of those together you can only imagine. Dazzling Gleam, obviously, Grass Knot, like we said, Pump, plus, you know, Surf and Scald. You always get to pick which one you want. Screens, obviously, stuff like Pain Split, Recover, Signal Beam as well, Thunder Wave, just in case, you know. I think it's also stuff like Trick. And yeah, nothing else too crazy in here. Stuff like Icy Wind would be nice. Maybe Recycle if we got like a 50% berry and we want to be stupid, but and just not click Recover. What the fuck am I talking about? But I don't know, man. I'm excited to use Starmie. I always like have to play against Starmie, and I'm like, I don't want to kill my own mascot. So we drafted it this time. So hopefully I don't have to kill it. I don't have to like sack it off too many times. That's gonna be unfortingtons. But next on the list we have something that this was not on my radar to grab at all, but I saw it available. I needed a fairy type. I needed what did I need at this point? I was looking at stuff to support Celesteela. You know, looking at not only typings, but you know, maybe moves, abilities, stuff like that that could help it out. So obviously the Arena Trap and the Volt Absorb do very nicely for that. Volt Absorb also, and the Ground type also helping the Starmie, which is weak to Electric as well. So I went ahead and grabbed Ninetales Alola. Boy, I cannot fucking wait to set up and autotomize behind fucking Aurora Veil. Are you kidding me? Nothing's killing me. You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch. Fucking, oh man. Another great speed tier. Ninetales Alola is a Pokemon that I've helped people build with, like, you know, front office type shit, helping them build with it, but I've never got to use it myself. Now, it's obviously going to be running that light clay every week. Fuck it. Not really. You gotta run Nasty Plot at least once, right? But yeah, it's a great speed tier, 109. Speed tying with stuff like Kartana, but outspeeding stuff like Primeape, stuff like Cobalion, I believe. I'm not going to double check because I'm confident that's right, but I'm just not confident. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's something like that. But even only at base 81 special attack, having a high power move like Blizzard is pretty nice, and then also Moonblast is just great. It's really spammable. And stuff like Freeze Dry is good too, so you want to switch in your water type on the, you know, Blizzard, ain't happening, cuh. And then it also gets a fuckload of support moves that are awesome. Disable, Encore, Foul Play, all kinds of shit like that. Fucking, oof. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into half this stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in here, man. I'm excited. But Ninetales Alola, it's just a great mon, and although it is a bit, it kind of makes it, I don't want to say a gimmicky team, but it makes it, now I have a Veil team, you know, so the whole point of everything is to set up behind Veil. But a lot of the mons on the team do appreciate, well, okay, every Pokemon ever is going to appreciate taking half damage from any attack, but especially on this team with the Celesteela, the potential to set up on there, with Dugtrio being weak as fuck anyways, and needing anything it can get to help lift those hits. And then Thundee, you know, Nasty Plot potential, and Starmie with forcing switches, and, you know, like, if you can't KO me because I'm behind screens, then I'm gonna fuck your shit up with a analytic boosted move, you know? But this is Todoroki here, nice My Hero. I'm gonna try to keep it to one weeb thing per draft. You know, is that respectable? I feel like that's manageable, and that's also respectable. You know, like, I know not everybody's down with the weeb shit, but like, I'm keeping it at bay, you know? So what the fuck am I talking about? I ask myself all the time, why do people watch me? Good God. But yeah, that's Todoroki for you. So next is a Pokemon we've used before, and I loved it. Honestly, it was a great Pokemon. Get some, you know, I love my Hazard stack, and we needed a Grass type. We got Roserade, dat boy, dat girl. This nickname may change. It's, you know, obviously it's Roserades, and it's probably gonna be shiny because I like the little black rose. But really hard-hitting special attack. 125 base is nothing to fuck around with. 383 if I'm modest, and then with Technician, boosted HP Fires, HP Ices, HP Grounds, stuff like that. All the times 4 mons are not gonna want to switch into this. Excuse me, I got the motherfucking Angry Orchard hiccups. Good, that's what I get for drinking bitch beer, huh? But yeah, you know, like I said, Technician boosted, plus the access to spikes and toxic spikes. That toxic spikes, not spites. I don't know what the fuck a toxic spite is. It sounds like some Gen 1 shit. But also Sleep Powder, Sludge Bombs, Leaf Storms, stuff like Aromatherapy is going to be nice to have. Dazzling Gleam, another thing that can kind of just spam Leech Seed and kind of heal up. And although its defense is definitely not great, it's not bad Spadef wise, so it's a pretty solid Spadef wall if I get the right matchup for it, and I can fuck with some Spadef hazard stack Roserade. That sounds dank as all hell. Yeah, if you have a good Roserade nickname, let me know. I used to call it something, but I don't remember what it was. So I just kind of go with Roserades because that seems like the juvenile thing to do. And then next, we needed a fire type. I was kind of looking at Thundy and Ninetales and everything, and it's like, so a third of the team so far, even though there's only 6, 2 Mons are weak to rocks. I don't want to add to that problem, but I still need a fire type. So I'm going to try to not draft anything else weak to rocks the rest of the time. Luckily for me, there is 17 fire and fighting Pokemon, so I was dicking around thinking between, you know, Blaziken and Emboar, talked it out a little bit. I decided that Blaziken actually enjoys the Veil a little bit more, having access to like Swords Dance and Agility and all that bullshit. And looking at his stats, Blaziken isn't bad. I never was really a fan of Blaziken. Like, obviously, I picked it as a starter at least once, but I just never really fucked with it in the competitive scene. Obviously, Mega Blaziken is fucking dank, but no speed boost, we got Blaziken. 120 attack and 110 is not bad though. Nice 80 base speed, so you'll hit 284 if I'm timid or jolly or whatever. But Adamant 372, that's not bad at all. Like that's a Flare Blitz you don't want to switch into. Plus with a, like we were talking about earlier, high base power move. So Flare Blitz plus high jump kick, that's a hell of something to switch into. And then obviously you got setup moves, bulk up, SD, stuff like that. Pretty solid coverage, every fire move in the game, and then stuff like Earthquake, Blaze Kick, Poison Jab, I didn't even know it got knocked off, that's dope. Knock off, Night Slash, ooh, Quick Attack, a little bit of priority, obviously Edge, Shadow Claw, and then Willow if we want to, you know, catch somebody on a switch or something like that. It's a clean mon, man, like it really is. And then of course you gotta have Brave Bird on your Blaziken because it's like it's Kicking Wing, you know. You know Kicking Wing, right? You remember. So you're
gonna tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles, or screaming mimes? No. Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doo dahs, crap flappers?
No, I don't.
You're gonna stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, hoosker doos, hoosker don'ts, cherry bombs, nips and dazers, with or without a scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
No.
Yeah, I know you remember that shit. I had to put it in there just in case you didn't, but with or without the scooter stick. Yeah, but that's Kicking Wing the Blaziken. It's gonna be fun to use. I've never used it before. I wanted a fire type that wasn't weak to rocks, and also I've found that there's always 1 or 2 teams in every league that are just thick pink Pokemon, Chansey and Clefs and all that shit, and it never hurts stacking up on fighting types. So with that being kind of the thought process, and also needing a decent U-turn mon, and having Hazard Stack, as well as Aurora Veil, obviously people are going to be defogging very heavily versus me. So we went ahead and got a Defiant user, and I was running out of points at this point. Like, seriously, fucking Thundy, Selly, Dougie, all this. There's so many, like, high point mons, and everybody had already started drafting, like, you know, 5 and 6 point shit. And I was just stocking up on the big threats, which I immediately regretted, but I'm really happy with the team, so I don't care. Primeape it's not bulky, it's really not, but if I'm switching in on defogs, like, that's fine. I'll be behind the veil, that's fine. I'll get the +2. Do you have anything on your team that's taking a +2 choice scarf close combat from Primeape behind screens? Like, I don't think you do. So and then having stuff like U-turn, it actually got some decent moves this generation as well. It got access to Throat Chop, if I'm not mistaken, which is like, it's no knockoff, you know, but it's still a solid move to hit those those pesky ghost types, you know. Yeah, Throat Chop, 80 base power, dark move, sweet. U-turn, close combat, obviously the elemental punches, and then you get your poison coverage and gunk shot and poison jab. Even gets like Seed Bomb, which is cool. Beat Up is always fun to man, I love using Beat Up. It's such a cool move. It's like your whole team's just like fucking up one Pokemon. And then steel coverage too, which is nice. And then yeah, it's a Gen 1 mon, and those usually have some pretty funky move pools, and that's no different here. There's some stuff towards the bottom that we're not gonna bring up, so we can save that for some surprises. So yeah, that is Infernape here. Now, I just realized on the layout I have forgotten a Pokemon, and this is a very important Pokemon, and we're gonna have to fix it real quick. Okay, sorry. I fucked that up real nice. But the next Pokemon on the list is Drampa, actually. I needed a Dragon type to complete the Steel Fairy Dragon Core. I've never used this motherfucker before, and he looks like a goofy son of a bitch that I want to play with. Like, that just looks like something wacky, you know? Not bad base stats at all, 135. Okay, I say not bad base stats, but I mean not bad base special attack. 135 with a modest nature, does hit 405, which is nothing to fuck around with. Obviously he's the Snorkel Dragon. He's got the Cloud 9, but also there's stuff like Berserk and Sap Zipper, which can both be used depending on the situation. You know, maybe I need a Grass type switch in. Maybe Rimby Roserade ain't enough, and or fucking Celesteela. But yeah, so we can get an attack boost. His attack is Dong Water, but that's fine. Who cares? It only hits 171 speed. It's a very, very slow dragon, and I was looking at something like Goodra, but that went already, and I want Drampa. Fuck it. I wanted some slow stuff to kind of, because a lot of the team is super fast, super offensive. You know, Celesteela obviously, no, but Dougie, Thundy, Ninetales, Starmie, all over base 100. And you got Roserade at 90, Blaziken at 80, Primeape at 95. So I wanted to start filling out some of the lower stuff, so that the Trick Room teams, the Trick Room team, there's a Trick Room team, but there's also obviously a lot of teams have Trick Room potential. So I want to just not lose to that. So hopefully we can do that with young Snorkel Dragon here. If you get the joke, you get the joke. You know. Every day I'm snorkeling. But this is also going to be our Z move user. I figured we have 25 points for picks, and Celesteela was 19 points, and this was 5 points. So it was either this or my next Pokemon for the Z move user, and I ain't fucking putting Z move on that shit because it is a support on. Speaking of which, our next Pokemon is going to be Audino, the fat piece of shit mon that you get in Ranbats, and it immediately dies after you knock one item and send up a wish. You know, like. But I got some stuff planned for this guy. I wanted at least one regenerator mon, just to have something to switch into. With a team like this, with the you know, the bulky offense, Aurora Veil thing I going on with Selly in the back, I did want to have Wish Pass to at least be able to attempt to heal stuff up, and then Heal Veil support, knockoff support. What else? It's not a bad Calm Mind user. Like, its special attack is Dong Water, but it can be pretty bulky and start, like, not a lot of shit is gonna break it. Obviously, it's no Mega Audino, but for 3 points, this was about as bulky as we were gonna get. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to be that guy that takes Alomomola. Plus, I would have had to probably change out Starmie and pick up a low tier spinner. And I don't know, man. It was just a lot of stuff. But it's surprisingly bulky. Passes those big old fat 200 HP. Well, 205, I guess, wishes. And, yeah, just a good support mon. Gives me some much-needed bulk on the team. Although I do have the Aurora Veil. You know, it's always nice to have some wish in the back. And then it gets some cool support moves and shit like that, too. So, that's 10 mons. For our last mon, you're probably going, Shaden, why the fuck don't you have a Mega Pokemon? And it's scaring me that you haven't picked one yet, because you've obviously dove down into the low-tier mons, and if you whip out a Mega Camerupt right now, I'm going to be upset at you. And you know what? If I picked Mega Camerupt, I would be upset at me too. Or if I wanted Mega Camerupt, I'd be upset at me too, because I'm not fucking joking you when I say right now, Mega Camerupt went round 1 in this league. Mega fucking Camerupt went round 1. I don't know, man. Seeing it happen gave me autism in my dick, so that was a thing, but... yeah, we went ahead and we went with Mega Bennet. Spooks, we used to have a cat named Lucy Spooks, so it's just Spooks, you know, plus that Clint Eastwood movie's pretty funny. So, 165 base attack, once again, is nothing to fuck around with. That's a strong boy, even though ghost types kinda lack in, like, high base power moves, unless you're Marshadow, or you want to wait 2 turns. But, having the Frisk ability is going to be cool, because, I'll send this guy in, and if I don't Mega Evolve, I can Frisk items. So obviously if you have a Trio, Magneton, Trapinch, Magnezone, stuff that traps, if you be trapping, people are going to be running Shed Shells, obviously depending on how much of a threat that Pokemon is to them. So having Frisk and being able to identify the Shed Shell users is going to be really nice. And then also, you know, hopefully anytime this guy comes in, no surprise Scarfers are going to fuck me in the butt, because that would not be fun. But yeah, that's the team. At the end of the day, I I like it because I picked them all, and this draft took like a fucking month, guys. Like, this took so long. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's a solid team, and you know, Mega Banette isn't the greatest Mega, but it was 5 points, and your boy picked it up. So having the prankster stuff will be nice. The prankster Willows and Destiny Bonds and all that shit. It gets a lot of cool moves. It gets some decent coverage too. And the more I look at this, the more I keep noticing its special move pool is surprisingly good. So we're probably going to try to do that at some point. Oh man. But yeah, this was also kind of necessary, filling more of a middle speed tier, you know, 75, even though Blaziken is right there at 80. And then the next thing is Drampa. I don't know how the fuck I just said that, but Drampa and Aldino are pretty low down there. But so at least our speed tiers aren't too terribly bad, and at least until you get down to the 75 range. But so basically from 75 to anything in between, there's not much in there. Although Aldino does hit 50, so that's not terrible. Yeah, so you got 75, 50, 35. It's that works. Count it. Pat's not allowed to say my speed tiers are shit, and if you do, fuck you, buddy. I know you're writing that in the comments right now. You fucking asshole. I know you are. But yeah, guys, go ahead and like it. Go ahead and subscribe. Do all that bullshit. Let me know what you think of the team. If you have any questions, comments, concerns. I know these are kind of stuffed in here all retarded because it is 2 o'clock in the morning and I just was excited and wanted to get this done. And also we got this cool little graphic in the back right here that I wanted to use. So yeah, let me know what you think. Obviously, you know, drop some comments down below. Let me know. But if you got any like real good shit, like PM me that, because I'm about that life. And also, if you have a decent name for a Rosa Raid, let me know. Because Rosa Raids, it's like, it's solid, but like it kind of makes me feel like I'm still in high school. So let me know. But anyways, like I said, like, subscribe, do all that bullshit, and bye forever.